France will go for the trophy once again.
Just 2 teams remain.
Australia.
France. The Fed Cup final.
It's time to show your
colours.
Welcome to the Fed Cup by BNP Paribas final preview show. Coming up, world number 1 Ash Barty on the importance of their captain.
Alicia, our captain, has created this amazing team environment, the sense of want and desire to really play for your country, and has definitely made it a priority for all of us.
The French side reflect on what could have been in 2016.
The last time we didn't get it, and we tried hard, but it was just missing a little bit. We were like 1 set away. And I remember how bittersweet I was feeling after this run to the final.
And we take a look at the 2 competing nations' history in the Fed Cup. But we start with Australia, who are hosting France in their first Fed Cup final appearance since 1993. Here's how they got there.
I was proud of the way that I was able to go about it and really play my own way. Understand that I'm playing for something greater than myself, but also bringing it back to the way that I want to play, the way that I play my best.
We've come to enjoy pressure, I think, as an Australian team, and that's been probably a real shift away from maybe 5, 6, 10 years ago.
I was stressing out watching because, you know, I knew that if it was 2-2, I would be going out there. I was almost like, just please win, Dash, so I don't need to go. But playing there and having Ash on the court obviously helped me so much, and being relaxed with her. She's obviously top 10 player, and it gave me a lot of confidence. In April, the crowd was unreal.
It was a long 3-setter. Unfortunately went down, but I was really pleased with my individual performance.
That'll do it. So Maria Sabalenka gives Belarus the 1-0 lead.
We enjoy almost at times being the underdog.
And Barty levels for Australia, and under extreme pressure, Barty comes through in her hometown. Will it be match?
Yes, it will.
And Barty puts Australia in the lead.
I was feeling pretty good going into playing against Vika on the second day.
And that'll do it. So Victoria Azarenka takes this Fed Cup semi-final to a deciding 5th rubber.
Yeah, that was a bit hard to handle out there, but it was like, all right, what are we going to do in the dubs? And we went out there, and for Ash and myself to combine as well as what we did, having never played together before, I think we did great.
We had the Love 40, obviously had a few of them, and just to take a bit of a deep breath and continue to go about things the right way.
15.
And when Sam poached that volley, just a sense of relief.
And that'll do it. Australia is into the Fed Cup final.
To end it in the doubles rubber, I think that's as exciting as it gets.
So many emotions bundled together, but overall just pride knowing that we've given ourselves an opportunity in a Fed Cup final.
the Fed Cup final.
It's truly remarkable being into our first final in 20 odd years.
It's a really special moment. We've got a real chance to try and break that drought.
It's been a journey over the last 2 or 3 years to get ourselves to this point.
And now to get through and find ourselves in a final, we know it's in Australia. We'll be going for the win. If we can do that, then it would be a moment never to forget.
Australia's team spirit is their secret weapon, and it will be in full force once again following a 7-month hiatus.
Players travel, more than 9 months a year away from Australia. There's only a couple of real snippets during the year where they're able to come together as a team, play, practice, eat dinner, do all the fun things that other teams have the opportunity to do. It's something that our players relish. They're all best of friends. I think that comes out on the weekend. It shows with how tight-knit they are, and it certainly helps on the court.
Alicia, our captain, has created this amazing team environment, the sense of want and desire to really play for your country, and has definitely made it a priority for all of us. The way that us Aussies go about it, I think we try and create this sense of an Australian brand of tennis. We want to play the Australian way, and when we put on the green and gold, I think instantly we kind of flick into that mode, and I think for all of us, we love it and we try and make the most of it.
Whether we're at Fed Cup or throughout the year, it doesn't really matter. We know we've always got each other's back, and I think that's what then really makes it seamless and easy for us to come together and united in these weeks of Fed Cup. And I think you can see it from the sideline, everybody on the sideline, our support staff, the players, they just give it their all, and there's no better feeling than playing in front of your teammates.
I've been friends with them for such a long time. I look up to Sam a lot. She's my role model, and Ash, she's playing unreal tennis. I always love watching her. I always try and stream her matches, or I love to watch her when we're playing on tour. It's amazing to be around the teammates. I always love Fed Cup weeks. It's probably one of my favorite times of the year.
I've been watching Sam growing up as a little girl, and watching her win US Open. And Ash, I've grown up with her, and she's only 3 years older than me, and she's done so much, and I respect them so much, and they're my role models, and being in the same team as them is amazing. There is no better feeling, and I've always dreamed about playing for my country, and being a part of this team, I can't describe it.
I don't think anything's insurmountable when you do represent your nation, and special things come out when our players do throw on the green and gold. They play with their heart, they're brilliant role models, leave everything on the court. I have every confidence in our team.
The home crowd advantage in Brisbane was decisive, and the Australian players will be hoping for more of the same in Perth.
Yeah, back in April it was phenomenal. The crowd was, we'd never played in front of anything like that before, and it certainly made a difference. I think on such a big weekend in Australia, Easter weekend, we had kids, we had families out here. It was unbelievable.
Everybody was riding every single point. The atmosphere was amazing. It was so loud. Add in a little bit of rain on the roof as well. It was just crazy and intense and exciting and everything. So if we can have something like that again, I think we'd all really enjoy it and love that moment to be out there in front of family and friends once again.
I think we're definitely going to feel it. Australians love their sport, and they're always so supportive of everyone. So it's a big part of getting the win in April, and hopefully they can bring it back again.
Standing in the way of the 8th Fed Cup title are France, where players such as Caroline Garcia, Kristina Mladenovic and Elise Cornet will not be taken lightly.
The French team are extremely passionate and love Fed Cup. They've had an amazing run in Fed Cup. They always bring their best, put their best foot forward, and I think they're one of the most passionate countries that you come up against.
Yeah, they're a great team. We are too, I have to say that. But I know France have the track record over the last number of years, the amount of finals they've made. They've won Fed Cup. They know how to do it.
They do very well. Every single year of Fed Cup, they're always a contender. So they've got very quality players in singles and doubles. Yeah, our work's going to be cut out for us, no doubt. But we've showed that we can handle some tough moments ourselves, and we're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Australia's last Fed Cup final came way back in 1993. Defeated by Spain on that occasion, they will be hoping for a different outcome this time around.
It's going to hold a special place in someone's trophy cabinet. We want that to be ours because, again, it's the times and opportunities that we have to play for our country as a team that they're few and far between. So we want to grab hold of this opportunity with both arms.
We're excited, we've got the opportunity, and first and foremost I think we have to go out there, enjoy it. We've been playing this unbelievable brand of tennis. It's been with fun, with freedom, and I think our true colours are coming out.
We're going to give it our best shot, we're going to leave nothing to chance. No stone unturned, we're going to lay it all out there. We know that we can play well under pressure and we're going to give it everything we've got to try and make that happen.
Fed Cup final.
Both this year's finalists have very contrasting histories when reaching the competition's biggest stage. Hosts Australia have a rich history, making the final their own in the early years of the Fed Cup. They featured in 16 of the first 22 finals, claiming the title 7 times but missed on 9 occasions, with the vast majority of them going to the competition's most successful nation, the USA. The green and gold have only featured in one final since the glory years of 1963 to 84, and that was 26 years ago. Missing out in 1993 to Spain, led by the formidable Conchita Martinez and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And despite Australia's pedigree as players, they've not featured in the final since. By contrast, France's Fed Cup final successes are all confined to recent past, even though they've been involved since the competition commenced. Les Bleus have won the title twice, in 1997 defeating the Dutch in the Netherlands, then they also claimed their second cup away from home, in 2003 beating the USA in Moscow. However, they've missed out in the final in both the following 2 years. They finished runners-up in 2004 and then again in 2005. The Russians taking the top prize on both occasions. The French last reached the final 3 years ago, when despite leading 2-1 going into the final day, the Czechs pegged them back and edged a tight deciding doubles. Final heartbreak again for the French.
The Fed Cup final.
Still to come, Julian Veneto on the challenge that lies ahead down under.
To go to the other part of the world at this time of the year, it's going to be also a huge effort from the girls. We know that it's a huge challenge.
And we take a look at the Fed Cup shots of the year.
It's the hardest shot in tennis, the backhand overhand, and talk about racket head control.
Two-time champions France are travelling to Australia for their 6th appearance in the Fed Cup final. Here's how they got there.
It all started in Liège, in Belgium, against a very good Belgian team.
Caroline was coming back after 2 years of not playing, so we didn't know what to expect.
I was very happy to be back in Team France. I was happy to be on court, playing tennis, being in the action and being able to bring some point to my team. I had a really tough match against Mertens that I won after almost 3 hours of battle, and it was a really good level. It was probably one of the fastest I've played in France because we had always a crazy scenario. You know, it was good memories, and for me it was good matches, gave me confidence. So I was very glad to be in semi-final. And then we're here at home against this really tough Romanian team, driven by Simona, who was very, very motivated, and she was on fire this weekend, playing amazing tennis. It was intense on the court with great matches, great battles, very long.
I tried to bring my energy every time on the bench, but this time I could go on the court and give to all the team what I receive every time, so I'm really happy to win this match.
She's done it! Pauline Parmentier holds bronze medal!
The decisive double was on.
It's going to be so cruel whichever one of these two great nations loses out here.
After 2.5 hours, a thriller of amazing point and up and downs and suspense, and I mean I got through all of the emotions. And Christina and Caroline gave us the last point.
Surely for France here in Rouen, an unbelievable semi-final tie. It had everything.
We won at the deciding doubles. It's a long weekend, we finished really late, but it's why I still play tennis, to have this kind of emotion, so it was just amazing for me this weekend.
France will go for the trophy once again.
It was unreal support and a lot of respect from both teams. And you know, I'm very glad we did it in France.
The Fed Cup final.
3 years ago, France were left devastated, losing to the Czech Republic in the final. Now they have the chance to lay those demons to rest in the hope of lifting their third Fed Cup trophy.
It will mean really something because it's been quite a while, and the last time we didn't get it, and we tried hard, but it was just missing a little bit.
In 2016 we were really close from winning. We were like one set away. And I remember how bittersweet I was feeling after this run to the final.
I was kind of alone standing there in the team, so you know, I was there. I made the team survive for 2 years in the world group.
We were feeling that we could really make it, and now we just want the revenge.
The new French captain is Julien Benneteau. The 2017 Davis Cup winner knows what is required to win this tournament.
From the beginning of my captaincy, I told them, I need everybody. Sometimes I will need only 2 girls, 3 girls. Sometimes I will need 4 girls during the weekend. I don't know. But I'm sure at one point I will need everybody.
He's a young captain, not a lot of experience, but he believes in his choices and he just go for it.
During this year we're all together. We are stronger obviously on the paper, and yeah, it definitely helps. So it's still everything pretty fresh, you know, but in Fed Cup it goes fast with the matches, with the first tie, and then we each individually fight for each other to bring points after points, and here we are in the final.
So I still feel the game, and my experience as a Davis Cup player is very important for me, as a player and also from the captains I had during my career. And I try to be like I wanted the captain should be in Davis Cup for the girls. But the main thing for me, it's like to be very frank and honest with them. They are very clever, they are very smart, and they are very honest between them.
It's 16 years since France last lifted the trophy. Their opponents have waited even longer, setting up a tough battle to come for the final weekend.
It's going to be a good challenge. You know, the team is a very good team. Ash Barty is on fire at the moment. She's having the best time of her career, and I know that she won all of her points in Fed Cup so far. So we will have to break that, you know, and we'll give our best. But definitely, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I love the Australian crowd, and I hope that some French people are going to make the trip, even if it's super far. I hope the supporter group is going to come.
A massive challenge to go there. It remembered me the Davis Cup final in 2001, but to go to the other part of the world at this time of the year, it's going to be also a huge effort from the girls. we know that it's a huge challenge.
The hosts have won 5 of the 6 previous ties between these two nations. But will the visitors be in 7th heaven come the end of the final?
They gave themselves the opportunity to win a Fed Cup. Now what we have to do is to prepare ourselves the best way we can and try to win this title.
When you're a big competitor, first of all, you want to reach there, get there, and I think you don't have to underestimate this achievement. It's already big and difficult, and not so many people have the privilege to kind of keep up with these results and this consistency. And then, once you get there, you always want more, and you want the last step. You want the trophy, and for sure, I have no doubt we'll give everything we have, and I'm extremely proud of the whole team.
We want to have it. We want to put a 3rd star on our suits, and I think we deserve it. We are doing a great job together. It's not easy every day. We have different character, and it's not going well actually all the time. But I think with the will of winning at the end, we make it work, and I think that's the most important.
I think all the team will try hard again. It's part one of my goals, and I know it's very important for all the teams. So we will be ready, and we will want to have something more.
The Fed Cup final.
And finally, let's take a look at some of the best shots from this year's tournament.
Shot in tennis, the backhand overhand. Talk about racket head control and strength. Just wraps the strings around the ball.
She mean it to be quite that good.
Get herself in the best position. Perhaps didn't anticipate that it was going to be quite as deep. It was a late change of the grip, but perfectly executed there.
What a touch of brilliance from Ash Barty. Look how deep she was here. She uses the slice, flicks the wrist, gets the outside of the ball just ever so slightly, hooks it down the line. I tell you what, Ken Rosal in his prime.
Very unlikely for so much of the point. Hallett was absolutely dominating, but still, it's Garcia who takes it.
That was the one shot that Hallett just didn't expect. Couldn't get up to it. What a point.
Love 15.
started out with 8 nations in February. Now we are down to just 2. It's Australia versus France. But who will be the 2019 Fed Cup by BNP Paribas champion? Join us from the 9th of November to find out.